Hello everybody, and thank you for clicking on this, to be honest, unplanned video. I haven't posted in quite a while and I've got 3 videos to record during the week, so I wasn't going to be doing anything this weekend, but I saw an article about Sunderland Association Football Club this afternoon and I thought I've just got to make a video about it because it's so crazy. So the article was on GB News website. Now, I know GB News is one of those kind of news outlets which is very political and always the centre of political arguments. I pride myself that I don't talk politics on this channel. The amount of rage, bait and just arguments on the internet about politics just isn't healthy. So I like to think that, you know, I make a 5-minute video about a Sunderland kit or whatever. It's just an escape from that. So I have to cite the source, so it was GB News, but this is not a video in any way trying to be political or cause any arguments, right? It's just that this article happened to be on GB News website. So, BBC hit with more than 100 complaints over coverage of Premier League game on Match of the Day. The BBC has received 103 formal complaints regarding its Match of the Day coverage of Sunderland's triumph against Crystal Palace earlier this month. The Championship team knocked out the FA Cup holders with a 2-1 victory at the Stadium of Light on the 17th of June, yet viewers accused the programme of delivering coverage that was poor/bias against Sunderland. Now, this is of course referring to Match of the Day's coverage of Sunderland versus Palace, which was very much Premier League versus Premier League. The day before in the press conference, Oliver Glasner basically torpedoed Crystal Palace season, and as a result on Match of the Day, they covered that rather than analysing the game. So yeah, GB News has reported that the Championship team knocked out the FA Cup holders with a 2-1 victory. So if we go down to the bottom of the article, it actually doubles down and says, rather than examining how Sunderland had managed to overcome the reigning FA Cup champions, the Match of the Day team chose to dissect Glasner's grievances with his employers. This editorial decision meant the Black Cats' victory received no tactical examination whatsoever, despite the significance of a Championship club eliminating the holders from the competition at their home ground. So that's pretty wild, and it's got people thinking, how on earth has this mistake happened? How is this journalist managed to write an article having done no research whatsoever, no fact checking, no knowledge of the game at all, and actually managed to get this published? Well, I'll be honest with you, I would bet lots and lots of dosh that this article was written by AI, probably ChatGPT. Now, I've started using AI for my YouTube channel. You'll probably notice my thumbnails and like the graphics and stuff that I use on screen. The black cat in the corner who tells you to subscribe, that's all AI generated. I use it to kind of, you know, upgrade the presentation of my videos, and I'm really happy with it. However, I've also tried to use it to do research and get notes on videos. I'm currently making the 5th episode of Red and White Through the Decades, which will be centred around Roker Park. And a few days ago, I used ChatGPT to try and get some information about Roker Park, and it told me that England won the 1966 World Cup at Roker Park, which is obviously not true. Now, of course, England did win the World Cup in 1966, and Roker Park was one of the venues, but England did not win the World Cup at Roker Park. In fact, I don't even think they played at Roker Park. And this is the kind of thing that AI, when you're trying to get it to write articles or do research, it throws up these absolute clangers that are just totally inaccurate. I think that this journalist who posted this has probably just said, write me an article about Sunderland beating Crystal Palace, and it's come up with this. Now, AI can only give you results as good as the prompt. So if this journalist wanted an accurate piece, he would have had to have stated that Sunderland are in the Premier League, a newly promoted team, 9th in the league, wherever we were last week, whereas Crystal Palace were 14th. And he would have had to put in so much information in this prompt that it comes to a point where you think, well, if you've got to write a really detailed, accurate prompt, you might as well just write the article yourself, because you've still got to fact check it and, you know, alter any inaccuracies. I mean, there's no excuse for a journalist anyway, he should be writing his own articles, but if anyone using ChatGPT for anything like that, there is that kind of balance where if you've got to write such a detailed prompt and you've got to fact check it, you're probably not going to actually gain much time in having a robot, you know, put a potluck version of what you want out. Just take the time and write it yourself. And this is why I wanted to make this video, because this is a problem. It goes beyond this article. It's happening all the time. The amount of articles or match reviews that I'm reading at the moment online, there's always these massive inaccuracies where you think, well, that's just not true. And it's just lazy journalism. And these people, I don't know, I mean, I don't know whether this person will be held account to this. Like, surely you would think that you'd get a bollocking. But I don't know. This article's been up all day. It's not been pulled. So they don't really seem that fussed. So if it's that easy, I mean, you know, if there's no repercussions to this, they're just going to keep doing it. But we, as readers of, you know, news articles about football, or anything really, are just going to end up ill-informed, because people will just believe what they read. There'll be someone somewhere who has read this article and gone, oh, fair play to Sunderland, championship team, knocking out the FA Cup holders out of the Premier League, fair play to them. It's complete bollocks. It's unbelievable. And that's why this really annoys me. So this is a rant that isn't going to go anywhere, because no journalists are going to watch it, and even if they do, they're not going to listen to me. But yeah, when I read about Sunderland Football Club, Sunderland Association Football Club, I shouldn't say Sunderland Football Club, I've been told off for saying that before, Sunderland Association Football Club, I want to be reading the truth, and I want accurate information, and I just want to read something that someone's put pride into. So there you go, that's my rant. Like I said, I've got 3 videos to record next week, so I'm looking forward to putting them out. I'm also recording episode 5 of Red and White Through the Decades, which I'm hoping will be out early March. So got quite a few videos to come, a lot better than this, I hope. If you've watched it, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.